Freshwater Fishery Society of BC, Go Fish BC on Shaw TV with your host Brian Chan from the Freshwater Fishery Society of BC. Go Fish BC is brought to you in part by Freshwater Fishery Society of BC, River City Marine, and Surplus Herbies.
Welcome to this week's episode of Go Fish BC on Shaw TV. Today I'm out with John Simpson. We're on the big boat and we're on Shuswap Lake fishing cinnamoose and narrows for some early spring rainbow trout fishing. John's got a big one on right now. You can see jumping in the background. So we're going to land this fish and talk a little bit more about the great fishing you can have out on this wonderful lake that's so close to Kamloops. So these are wild rainbow trout from Shuswap Lake, and look at the condition. Hooks out.
Yeah,
look at that. It's a beautiful wild rainbow, probably 4 years old, feeding on sockeye smolts. Anyway, he goes.
He's gone.
We're fishing in the cinnamoose and narrows right now, which, if you look at a map of Shuswap Lake, it's like the shape of an H, and we're in the cross member in the H, where the four arms of the Shuswap meet and pass through. So this is a natural gathering point of salmon fries, sockeye and chinook, and sockeye and chinook smolts, a year older juveniles that come through the narrows on their way down through the Shuswap, Little Shuswap, down the Thompson, Fraser, and then to the ocean. And it's just in the early May right now, and we're fishing for these rainbows that have come here to feed on the sockeye smolt in particular. And so we mark them on the sounder, and you can see the bait balls on the sounder, and we're using various lures today, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But we'll get our lines back out on the water and see if we can catch another great fish. So John, just maybe explain the different lures and then maybe go over whether we can use fly lines or we can use downriggers, things like that.
Sure, you bet. So here's a couple different ones. This is a matrix spoon, single barbless hook. This is a lure Jensen, same thing. A little crocodile. This is a
Apex?
Apex, yes. Little Apex, my favorites.
Favorite?
So a blue one, and then another one that's got some spots and some pink on it. So typically I like to put the Apexes on my fly lines. So I'll use a medium or a fast sink fly line.
So they're relatively high in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then on my spoons I like to put on the downriggers,
okay.
like this one is here.
Yeah. So the downrigger just gets us down to exact depth, stays in that depth zone.
Yeah.
And as we've seen earlier, when we looked at the depth sounder, we can mark the bait balls or the big schools of sockeye smolts that are swimming through, and you can get your lure right down on top
So
of
if
them.
you see them at 35 there, you put it at 35 here.
That's great. So just a couple things to remember about fishing Shuswap, that there's a significant number of area-specific regulations on Shuswap Lake, so you have to read the regulations, whether you pick them up as a hard copy from your fishing tackle store, or you can go onto the provincial government site and download the electronic or digital copies of the regulations. So you can come out and you can fish and just do catch and release, but if you want to harvest or retain one of those rainbows or even a lake trout, you have to buy the conservation stamped for Shuswap Lake. Let's catch another fish, John.
Let's give her a try.
Freshwater Fishery Society of BC, Go Fish BC on Shaw TV with your host Brian Chan from the Freshwater Fishery Society of BC. Go Fish BC is brought to you in part by Freshwater Fishery Society of BC, River City Marine, and Surplus Herbies.